Okay, last thing I want to talk about today, and I'll try to keep this brief because I think my camera's about to die. Battery sucks. Attack on Titan. Oh my god, just about a week ago, over this past week, I finally watched all of Attack on Titan. Well, it's technically considered the first season, the anime Attack on Titan. And it is streaming on Netflix, that's how I watched it, which is amazing, that's awesome. I wonder, it makes me wonder if popular demand really got that, because I know it has to do with, deals between distribution companies, and I guess Funimation does have ties with Netflix Instant, which is great. Funimation is great. If you're an anime fan, I'm certain you've heard of Attack on Titan by now. A few months back, this was a huge thing on the internet. The series blew up. It was a manga first, of course, and which was fairly popular, I think. I haven't read it yet, meaning to. But the anime just exploded onto the internet, and it was this huge phenomenon, and it really was like the must-watch anime of 2013. And I kept hearing people talk about it, and I'm not a huge anime fan, and that's not because I don't like it or anything. I just haven't taken the time to get into a lot of anime yet. I'm meaning to, just slowly but surely. I'm getting there. Lately I've been going back and getting into a few classics like Trigun and Bebop. Love Trigun, and I love Bebop. And Spice and Wolf was an anime that I got into about a year ago. I bought the Blu-ray set and just adored it because I heard very good things about it. Other than that, I really don't watch very much anime. Which is a damn shame. I really should, because I know there are so many great series out there, new series and classic series that I haven't seen yet. But my god, Attack on Titan is fantastic. From a storytelling standpoint, from a character standpoint, from an animation standpoint, from an audio standpoint, it is pitch perfect. It is amazing. And I know that everyone's just been, jerking it off and singing its praises to high heaven for months now, and that's pretty much all anyone's been doing. It really deserves it. It really is that good, which shocked me, and not because I was going into it going like, show me what you got, you're gonna suck, yeah. I really went into it wanting to like it, but not really knowing all that much about it, and just being blown away. And it takes me a long time. When it comes to TV shows, it takes me a long time to get through TV shows. I'm very slow. Like, I can sit down and watch a movie, but I can't just sit down and watch a season of a TV show. Not very easily. Only with select shows that I really love, like Doctor Who, or Torchwood, or Star Trek. Usually I can do it with comedies, like with comedy series like Archer. I watched like all of Archer in like a couple days. South Park, things like that. The Simpsons, Futurama. I can watch those shows. I can marathon comedy, like a bit of Fry and Laurie, Black Books. I can marathon comedy very easily. But when it comes to anything remotely serious, I get burnt out after a few episodes. Attack on Titan, I watched all 25 episodes of Attack on Titan in 3 days? 3 days. Yeah, which, well, it was more like 2 days, really, because I only got time to watch, like, an episode or two the second day, and then the third day I went back and finished the last half, basically. But I just kept getting sucked into it, and I didn't want to stop. I really didn't. And the only reason I did stop was because I was busy this past weekend, and I had homework to get done, and that kept getting in the way of me watching Attack on Titan. And it's not like it's an incredibly long series or anything. These are just standard half-hour slot episodes. They're each about 22 minutes. And another thing, like the episode recaps on this show are ridiculously long, each time. Like, even from the very beginning, like, the episode recaps are like a full minute or two. That's insane, and it does take up a huge, which sucks because it takes up a huge chunk of episode runtime, and then the opening is like a minute and a half, and then the credits are like a minute and a half, so it's really less than 20 minutes. Usually in most episodes you're getting like maybe about 18 minutes of actual episode footage, not counting the opening, the closing, and the ridiculously long, exhaustive recaps. So it's not an incredibly long series. I mean, 25 episodes is a lot to take in. But, God, I love this series. And really, yeah, if you're an anime geek, you've probably already seen it. So my recommendation is kind of moot at this point because it came out several months ago. But if you haven't seen it and you're not incredibly into anime, and if you have Netflix, sit down right now and watch and absolutely give it a shot. I really think that you'll like it, and even if you don't like anime, I can understand why people don't like certain conventions of anime. This does not fall into conventions of anime like over the top animation, very 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 Japanese, very alienating to a dumb American audience themes. This is a very universal story, and it's a very unique and odd story, but it isn't something rooted deeply in Japanese culture as far as lore or mythology goes in order to understand the story. Essentially, synopsis. Okay. Civilization has dwindled. Human civilization has dwindled down to just a few tens of thousands, really, I believe, of people, as far as we know, and they all live behind giant walled cities because of the Titans. The Titans are these very creepy humanoid giants, ranging in size and shape, and they all have very human faces. They all have very distinct human faces, some of which are creepy as hell. But one day, a giant called the Colossal Titan, which is essentially looks like a muscular system, breaks down the wall, and then another giant, ultra strong Titan called the Armored Titan sprints at the tower and just destroys it. So all the Titans get in. They start eating people, and the main character, Eren, watches his mother get devoured. This is in the first episode. Watches his mother get eaten by a giant, and from then on, it's his completely psychotic drive to kill Titans and to become the best at killing Titans. But ironically, it's his adoptive sister, Mikasa, who is the true master at killing Titans. I like that aspect of it, that he isn't some sort of like chosen one. It's just like, oh my god, he is the best. It's like, no, she is. He's good. But it's just, he's so determined that this is what he's driven himself to do. It's not because of some like ancient stupid prophecy or some shit that he's like, oh, you are the chosen one, you must kill the Titans. No. He's just very, very determined, and he works his ass off to get good at this, and he isn't really the best at first, but he works at it. That's a very interesting character trait. Really, there are three main characters. There's Eren, Armin, and Mikasa. Armin was a childhood friend of Eren's, and I want to say is it implied that his parents are dead? I can't remember. I'm thinking they are, but yeah, really, if I really don't want to spoil anything. just outside of that premise of giants eat people, humans have to run, and it's very dark, very, very dark, very... God, this show is so depressing. I've heard people describe it as, like, don't get attached to any of the main characters outside of the main three because they're dead. They really are just lunch meat. At some point in the series, the body count in this show is astronomical. It is insane. I've never seen anything like just so many characters that you get to know and then just done. Dead, 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 dead. Really gruesome, horrible ways to, like, very few of them get heroic send-offs, if any, get like heroic send-offs. They always just get like squished into a tree, or just like stomped on by a titan, or just eaten, just like bitten in half and like ripped apart. It's Jesus. It's something. It really does play on your emotions because you get into the camaraderie and the I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Honestly, you get into the God, dead space. You get into the emotional drive of these characters, and you really want to see them succeed, and then you see them get horribly slaughtered and eaten, just time after time after time, and you just see that over and over and over, and it wears on you. It really does, but it's meant to do that. And I have to talk about the opening song. My God, the opening song is so good that it kind of became a meme. Last year, like late last year, it kind of became a meme. It is so good, and it's so catchy. For an opening that pumps you up, it is perfect. It really is like the quintessential, like, get you pumped up and ready to watch this kick-ass show opening. And halfway through the season, I believe it was like a half of it is broadcast, then they take a break, and then broadcast the next half. I think that's how it was set up, I'm guessing. The second opening, I can understand why people got pissed off that they changed the opening for the show, because the first opening really is so good, and you get just so used to hearing it every time you turn on the show. And it really is. It's very rare that I watch the opening to a show every single time, especially one that's like a minute and a half long. It's almost 2 minutes long. It's a long opening. It's very rare that I watch it every single time I start a new episode, and the thing is, like, Netflix automatically, switches you to the beginning of the episode. Like, it skips the recap and the opening, and then it's like, here's the beginning of the episode, and I kept going, no, and pushing the slider back and just watching the opening every single time because I loved it so much. And then the second opening comes in, and at first I was like, it's okay, it's good, I guess. It's very different. But really, the more I listen to it, I'm pretty sure I'm in the minority on this, but I prefer the second opening now. The more I listen to it, it's such a hard driving, just 80s hair metal, just cheesy as hell, but just pumps you up like crazy. And then with the sweeping the sweeping vocal chorus, and it's just gorgeous. And the German, I love it. I love it so much. I've listened to it so many times just on its own. When I get bored, I just look it up on YouTube and watch that opening for like 10 times in a row. It's so damn good. Really, that is what an opening should do. And the closings are excellent too. That's nothing against them. They are excellent. The closing song, closing animation for the first half of the season is this really beautiful, really somber, mostly piano ballad. It's beautiful, and I really do like it. The animation too. The animation is fantastic on that sequence. And then the second one, it's more akin to the second opening. It's kind of a cheesy speed metal number. It's a great song too. It really is. It makes for a great closing to the show. Now, from what I've seen of the manga, the art style is kind of sketchy and rough, and it's not that I like it. I like it a lot, but it's a little rough around the edges, you know. The anime, on the other hand, is gorgeous, and just it really stands out. It really stands out. The inking on these characters, like, very heavy. The characters stand out like almost like cutouts. Really, stand out very prominently from the backgrounds. With with characters having very heavy ink lines around the characters, and it's unique, and it isn't that it's it sounds like it might be distracting or something like that, but it really isn't, and it really I mean, it isn't anything. It isn't an art style that's insanely, game changing or anything, but it is unique, and it really does stand out. And the animation is fluid and crisp, and my God, with the devices they use to get around almost in a sort of like in a Spider-Man sort of way, these 3D maneuvering devices, I think what they call them. The animation on that is really complex and really fantastic. Yeah, I really don't have anything. I really don't have anything negative to say about this show. I really don't. It really hits every perfect beat for me that a series should hit. My God, just on an emotional standpoint, you really do grow to love these characters despite, and they aren't. They're very flawed characters. They really are, in different ways. I've heard people complain that Mikasa is too godlike and perfect. I guess you could make that argument, but I don't know. I think later on in the series it shows that she's too attached to Eren to a fault, to the point where she lets her temper and her anger get in the way of her judgment, to the point where she's putting herself in danger, or sometimes even other people in danger because of it, making rash decisions. I really don't know what else to say about this. It is a brilliant anime. It's gotten me interested in watching more anime. It's that good. It's gotten me back into anime, because there was a lull for a long time where I didn't watch any anime, really. Yeah, I adore this series. I know Funimation, the dub isn't out yet. On Netflix, the only way to watch it is in Japanese with subbed English. And I always prefer to watch on the sub version if I can. That's nothing against Funimation, because Funimation makes great dubs, and actually I'd honestly make the argument that the Spice and Wolf dub is even better than the original Japanese audio, the original voice cast. And I know that's a hell of a statement, but I really do love the dub for Spice and Wolf. Funimation knocks it out of the park every time. I can't wait. I'm definitely going to watch the dub for this when it comes out, and maybe even if I have a decent chunk of cash laying around when it comes out, I'll probably be getting this on Blu-ray from Funimation when they release the dub and sub version in a bundle. I really love this show, and I feel like watching it again. I really do. That's rare, and I probably will watch it again. Hell, I have some time today, so I think I'll do that, actually. Maybe I'll start watching it again. Well, that's it. Attack on Titan. Go see it. Absolutely see it. It's on Netflix. What the hell are you waiting for? Even if you don't like anime, I'd say still give it a shot. Maybe it'll, I don't know if it'll, change your mind or anything, but I really do see this going down in history as one of the big series, like Trigun, like Bebop, like Samurai Champloo. I really do see this, like Gundam. I really do see this going down as one of those series that's incredibly well known, for decades to come. I really do see that happening. It's that good. Yeah, what are you waiting for? Go see it. That's all I gotta say for today. Alright. Take care.